Kene's world began at the foot of a twisted ogbu tree and ended where the canopy swallowed the sun. For 32 seasons, this forest had been his only kingdom, its cicada drumbeats, his court music, its veined shadows, the bars of an unseen cage. His father, scarred by a life of scorn, had fled with him here as an infant, building a mud and thatch refuge so deep in the green that Umuofia existed only as muffled echoes of market gongs drifting on night wind. "We are Osu," the old man would rasp beside the cooking fire, smoke curling through the thatch like restless spirits. "The people shun us as plague, and plague is what we become if we cross the Uli line. Remember, Kene, their sky is not our sky." When Hamatan finally wrung the marrow from the old man's bones, Kene dug a grave beneath the ogbu's buttress roots and wept until his tears turned to salt streaks on dust-caked cheeks. Alone, he grew into sinew and quiet strength, tilling secret clearings, snaring bush rats, moving with the sure-footed grace of a leopard through vine-choked corridors only he could read. Yet loneliness gnawed deeper than hunger. On moonless nights, he slipped to the outskirts of Umuofia, gliding through deserted stalls to scavenge bruised yams and abandoned cocoyams before scuttling up the great Iroku that lorded over the stream path. From that high perch, he spied the villagers he was forbidden to name, and it was there he first saw Adana. Live as antelope, copper bracelets flashing on charcoal wrists, laughter ringing bright as Ojene brass as she and her friends balanced clay pots on shaved heads. She kindled a spark in the darkness of his exile, though he never dared step from the foliage until every last footfall faded. Then a shadow darker than night pressed upon Umuofia. People blistered with fever, coughed foam the color of chalk, withered like drought-struck cassava. Goats tottered, fowls dropped, and finally Eze Nana, he of 7 barren wives, gasped out his crown breath beneath woven mats. Panic drove the Ndichi elders to the shrine of Agbala, where the priestess Ukamaka, skin daubed with Nzu chalk, raffia skirt bristling with fetish bones, whirled through incense, dashed palm kernels, and listened to silence. Even the gods recoiled. In hushed despair, an ancient oath resurfaced. Whoever purges the land of death shall ascend the stool of kings. Days later, Adana lingered at the stream after her companions departed, scrubbing a length of indigo cloth while twilight blared across the sky. A feral bush pig, eyes ember red and froth-muzzled, burst from reeds. Her scream fractured the hush, but before tusk found flesh, Kene erupted from emerald gloom, a blur wielding a branch thick as a wrestler's arm. One thunderous crack felled the beast. Panic flared in his veins, and he vanished, but not before she beheld the scar-laced face of her savior. Restless under the hut's palm frond roof, Adana packed roasted yam the following dawn and ventured back, laying it on a flat stone. "Stranger of the shadows," she whispered, "take my thanks." Hidden, Kene watched, heart hammering like an uje drum, then claimed the yam, tasting a kindness sweeter than honeyed cola. Each day she returned with gifts, smoked fish, garden eggs, ground pepper cakes. Each day he hovered unseen until longing finally shattered fear. One sunset, she sat cross-legged by the stone and vowed, "I will not leave until you appear." Silence stretched taut. Then Kene stepped into burnished light, expecting revulsion, finding wonder instead. Beneath a lacework of fireflies, they spoke, halting syllables, flowing into laughter, into trust. Adana's tears one evening told of plague, of empty cradles, of hopeless elders. Kene's brow furrowed, for he had long avoided the upper stream after finding dead squirrels bloated in its eddies. Guided by forest lore, he traced the malice to an lightning-felled ogirisi, whose upturned roots bled slow venom into the waterway. He shared his discovery, and Adana carried hope like a torch into the council fire. Cries of "Osu," abomination, whipped the air when she led him into the circle. Warrior farmer spat, the priestess shrieked, children hid. But Adana's voice, fierce as mother lion, got through. "Will you cling to fear while death devours you?" The eldest elder, cane thin and sorrow-stooped, gestured for quiet and bade Kene speak. In measured Igbo, he mapped the poison's path, offered a cure, fell the tainted giant, dam the channel with palm logs, divert fresh water through bamboo aqueducts, and cleanse the cisterns with powdered bitter leaf and charcoal ash. They followed him by torchlight through vines that clawed like ancestral hands, axes ringing until the ogirisi groaned and surrendered. All night they sweated under moon-pale gaze, redirecting life's lifeblood. By the 5th sunrise, the fevers ebbed. By the 7th, the wails ceased. In the hush of dawn, the council gathered beneath the king's empty stool. No drums, no crowd, only a ring of elders, Adana at Kene's side. The aged counselor lifted the royal ofu, its bronze face glinting crimson, and knelt before the outcast. Law is breath, and today the land has chosen its breath anew. Kene, cleanser of rivers, breaker of chains, receive the stool. Trembling, Kene accepted the staff. The sky seemed to widen, and the forest beyond the palisade exhaled as though releasing him. With Adana's fingers intertwined in his, he faced the people, not as phantom, not as plague, but as Eze Kene Obi, proof that the spirits sometimes hide royalty in rags, so humanity must confront its own shadow before it can stand in the sun.